in which the Vikings win by an 11-7 margin. Game number 2 upon us right now. Evan Suko will take to the hill for the Oelwein Huskies. Suko 2-0 on the season with .64 ERA. Opponents hitting .214 against him. 11 innings, 9 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And Colin Nimrod will start things here in game number 2 against Suko. We're about ready to get things underway. And the first offering goes high to Colin Nimrod as we get things underway here in game 2 at 7:57. 1 ball, no strikes. Nimrod in game number 1 was 2 for 4. Reached base 4 times as he looks at a strike. 1-1. Nimrod at short, Hovden in center, LaRue pitching. Jake Marlowe at first base. Caleb Qualley the catcher. Gabe Varney the designated hitter for Minks the left fielder. Austin Bourne right, Tyler Dossel at third, and Cam Korsnes at second. And the pitch swung on, popped up first base side. Woodward, the second baseman, out into shallow right field, will make the catch for the first out here in the first inning. Nimrod retired, 1 down here in the first inning. And Jake Hovden will be the batter. Hovden was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBI in game 1 of the doubleheader. And the pitch in there for a strike. It is 0-1 on Hovden. Vikes have now won 4 out of 5. Their only blemish in that time. A loss to an undefeated Cascade team on Saturday. The pitch swung on and fouled back. It is no balls and 2 strikes to count. Decorah got on the board in the first inning, and really the bats didn't let up throughout the game. 14 hits in game number 1. 0-2 delivery, ground ball toward short. Booted there by Arndt, and it goes into shallow left center. An E6 allows Hovden to reach. 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the first inning, and Brett LaRue will be the batter. LaRue in game number 1 was 2 for 4 and also scored a run. He is 10 for his first 16 this season. LaRue right-hand hitter against the right-hander Evan Suko. The pitch swung on, popped up, foul territory, third base side. The shortstop, still in fair ground, Arndt will make the catch. And there is 2 down here in the first inning. Defensively for Oelwein, Brennan Ryan in left, Jared Latterberg in center, and Troy Rao in right. Tony Rex at third, Austin Arndt at short. Jonah Woodward at second, and Ethan Fink will be at first. Tanner Rising behind the plate, and Evan Suko will be on the mound. Runner at first, 2 down for Jake Marlowe, who had 3 RBI in game number 1. As Suko steps off and bluffs Hovden back to the bag. Marlowe was 2 for 4 with all 3 RBI coming with 2 out. Hovden takes off. Marlowe takes high. Throw down to second base. Off the glove of Woodward and into shallow center, but backing up is Latterberg to avoid future runner advancement. And it's 1 ball, no strikes on Marlowe. This is Vikings Radio, 1240 KDEC Decorah and KDECradio.com. Darren Swenson from Oelwein here tonight as Marlowe rolls one towards third. Snagged there by Tony Rex. He'll throw across the diamond to retire Marlowe, and that's that for the first inning. 1 error and 1 left. 1 half inning done. Oelwein nothing and Decorah nothing, and the Vikes will, or the Huskies I should say, will come to the plate this way. Latteberg in center field. Brennan Ryan in left. Tanner Rising the catcher. Tony Rex at third. Austin Arndt at short. John Leo, the designated hitter for third baseman Jonah Woodward. Troy Rao in right field. Evan Suko, the pitcher, and Ethan Fink will be at first base. And Brett LaRue will get the start here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. LaRue making his second start, his third appearance, 1-1 with the .286 ERA. Opponents hitting .273 against him, 7 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts, and he will have this defense behind him. Minks will be in left, Hubden in center, and in right field, Austin Bohr, Tyler Dostal at third. Colin Nimrod will be at short. Cam Korsness at second, and Jake Marlowe will be at first. Caleb Qualley behind the plate, and Brett LaRue on the hill. Jared Latteberg in game number 1, 1 for 3. He also had a sacrifice fly. Latteberg, a left-hand hitter against the right-hander LaRue, as we're just underway here in game number 2 of this doubleheader. The Vikings won game number 1 by an 11-7 margin. LaRue delivers, and the pitch swung on and fouled first base side on the ground. No balls and 1 strike. LaRue got the win in relief against Cresco on Friday night as Latteberg pops one shallow left field. Retreating is Nimrod at shortstop. He will make the catch for the first out here in the first inning. And the batter will be Brennan Ryan. Ryan was the only starter in game number 1 who failed to reach base. He was 0 for 4. The right-hander LaRue ready against the right-hand hitting Ryan. And a curveball taken inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Jack Lynch calling the balls and strikes. And Bill Boyd working the base pass. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. The 1-0 delivery swung on and missed as LaRue took something off and had Ryan out in front. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. A wild one in game number 1. We'll see what type of game this is as it goes by. As the pitch swung on, hit well down the left field line. Cole Minks angling into the corner. Gets there but can't quite corral it. It ends up being a foul ball, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Brennan Ryan. 1-2 the count with 1 down. So nothing more than a loud strike for Ryan, and Minks had a long ways to go. Had he been able to corral it, it could have been an above average play, but didn't work out that way. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count, and the pitch high. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Two and 2 with 1 down. The pitch swung on and a ground ball towards third. Dostal fields on a couple of hops. Winds up and throws to first base, and beating it out is Ryan. So Ryan gets a base hit after going 0 for 4 in game number 1. And Tanner Rising will be the batter for Oelwein. Rising in game number 1 was 3 for 4 with 2 RBI and a double. LaRue delivers. First pitch, a curve for a strike, nothing in 1. Couple of steps off the bag at first base is Ryan, the 0-1. High and outside for 1 ball and 1 strike. No score. We're in the bottom of the first inning of game number 2. Decorah won game number 1 by an 11-1 margin. Runner goes, pitch, curveball outside. Qualley's just going to have to eat it as Ryan steals the bag. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Two one, swung on, and a looper towards shallow right center. It'll be a base hit. Ryan hits third base. He's coming to the plate. Hovden struggles to come up with the ball in right center field. It'll be an RBI single, and Rising will reach second base on a headfirst slide. So Rising gets an RBI single, his 4th hit of the doubleheader, and for the first time tonight, Oelwein leads. It's 1-0. And Tony Rex will look to keep it going. Rex, 1 for 4 with an RBI. First pitch out of the, moved to second base and back to the bag. Diving is Rising. So no count yet on Tony Rex, the losing pitcher in game number 1 of the doubleheader. One-0, swung on, popped up. Shallow left center field, a step, and make that 2 steps onto the outfield grass. The shortstop, Nimrod, will make the catch. And that's the second out here in the first inning. Reiser at second with 2 down, and Austin Arndt will be the batter. Arndt 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. In game 1, an 11-7 victory for Decorah. Right hand hitting Arndt against the right-hander LaRue. First pitch sails outside. It is 1 ball and no strikes. Decorah above 500 in conference play for the first time this season. One-0, swung on, popped up, first base side foul territory. Marlowe appears to have room, and he makes the catch to retire the side. But the Huskies score 1 on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. We head to the top half of the second inning. It is a 1-0 lead for Oelwein. 1-0 Oelwein as we go to the top of the second inning. Qualley, Varney, and Bohr for Decorah to face Evan Suko, who gave up 1 base runner on an error, but nothing else in that first inning. Caleb Qualley was 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. Both those RBI came with 2 out in the first game, in which Decorah won 11-7. 1-0 Oelwein here in game number 2. Qualley in from the right-hand side of the plate against the right-hander Suko. First pitch inside, 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 delivery. Curveball in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes from Suko. Suko off the low mound here in Oelwein. 2-0 delivery. Catches the corner outside edge for a strike. It's 2-1. Decorah with 14 hits in game number 1. Hits have not been a problem for this team. The timely aspect thereof has been to this point. But 8 of the 11 runs scored with 2 outs. Qualley pops 1 up directly in front of home plate. Suko, the pitcher, will make the catch for the first out here in the second inning. So 1 down, nobody on for Gabe Varney. 1-0 Oelwein here in the top of the second inning. Varney was 1 for 4, reached base twice in game number 1. Sun's starting to set in the west, and the lights have been turned on here at the Husky ballpark. Varney swings and fouls 1 third base side and out of play. It is no balls and 1 strike. Again, the busy week for Decorah. 5 total games. Doubleheader tomorrow night against Waterloo East. Off on Thursday, and then Vikes and Indians on Friday night in Decorah from Olensack Field. 0-1 delivery, swung on, and Varney tried to hold back on the swing and couldn't do it. It's no balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 the count with one down. Suko ready, 0-2 delivery. Pitch goes high. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Varney. Suko ready, 1-2. Fastball high and outside for 2 balls and 2 strikes on Varney. Breeze, not as strong as it was, but still blowing out to center field. It has helped a few balls tonight. 2-2 delivery, sprayed towards the left field side. It'll land for a base hit. Good job of going the other way on a breaking ball there from Gabe Varney. Varney gets a 1-out single here in the second inning. 1 on, 1 out for Austin Bohr. Bohr 2 for 4 at his best offensive day thus far in game number 1. And another one of his outs was allowed out, a line drive right at the shortstop, Austin Arndt. 1 on, 1 out. Suko delivers. Bohr pops one up directly on the first base side. Suko near the first base line will make the catch. And that's 2 down here in the inning. So 2 pop outs to the pitcher have retired the first 2 batters, and Tyler Dostal will be the batter for Decorah. If you want to report it accurately, it's been 2 pop outs to the pitcher with the Varney single in between. Dostal was 1 for 4 in game number 1. His 1 hit was a bunt single. Curveball just missed outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes on Tyler Dostal. 1-0 Oelwein on the RBI single by Tanner Rising in the first inning. Suko ready. Pitch taken high. It's 2 balls, no strikes with Cam Korsnes in the on-deck circle. Suko will look towards first. Varney will lead towards second. And the 2-0 delivery is a curveball down and in. It is 3 balls and no strikes to count. Three and 0 with 2 down. 3-0 delivery. Tyler takes all the way. It's a breaking ball taken on the outside edge for a strike. And now it's 3-1. Suko a stretch and the 3-1. Outside corner for a strike. And Tyler couldn't pull the trigger on that breaking ball, and it's 3-2 now. So Varney will be moving here. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down. A 1-0 lead for Oelwein here in the top of the second inning, and Suko steps off. Three and 2 with 2 down. Varney takes off. Pitch curveball outside for ball 4. So for the first time tonight, Decorah has 2 runners on. Varney at second, Dostal at first, and Korsnes will be the batter. Korsnes did not play in game number 1. He's 5 for 15 with a 333 average and 2 RBI on the season. First and second, 2 down here in the second inning as Korsnes smacks one into center field, but Ladderberg right there to make an above-the-head 2-handed catch in shallow center for the 3rd out of the inning. 1 hit, 2 left, 1.5 done. It is 1-0 Oelwein. Bottom of the second inning we go. It is a 1-0 lead for the Huskies. And John Leo, Troy Rao, and Evan Suko due here in the bottom of the second inning to face Brett LaRue. Gave up 2 hits and 1 run in that first inning. LaRue getting the start here in game 2 of this doubleheader. LaRue delivers to Leo, and Leo fouls it off right side and out of play. No balls and 1 strike to count. 0-1 delivery, ground ball to the left side, picked up there by Nimrod at short. He'll throw across the diamond for the initial out of the bottom of the second inning. One down, nobody on for Troy Rao.
Up next for the Huskies, number 8.
Rao in game number 1 of the doubleheader was 2 for 4, had a double and scored 2 runs. Rao swings and misses at a good curveball. No balls and 1 strike to count. Oh, 1 delivery. High and outside for 1 ball, 1 strike now. One and one, and a curveball catches the inside corner for a strike. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. LaRue ready, 1-2 offering, ground ball over the head of LaRue, fielded at short by Nimrod. He dropped it, got it back through to first base, and out at first is Rao on a bang-bang play. Collins' bobble put more drama in the play than necessary, but it goes down as a 6-3 in the scorebook, and there's 2 down. And the batter will be Evan Suko. Suko 0 for 3 with a walk in game number 1. Curveball taken for a strike on the outside edge, no balls and 1 strike. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Tanner Rising with an RBI single in the bottom of the first inning to make it a 1-0 ball game. The 1-1 is a swing and a foul into the parking lot directly behind the stands. 3 sections of bleachers here in Oelwein. 1 including a press box directly behind the home plate, and a couple of other sections at first and third. A curveball goes outside, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Suko. 2-2 with 2 down. And number 22 on the hill. LaRue's delivery, a ground ball right side, fielded there by Korsnes to his left. He'll throw on to first base to retire Suko and the side here in the second inning. 3 up, 3 down. To the third we go. It is a 1-0 lead for Oelwein. Top of the third inning we go. So far, first time through the order, Evan Suko has given up a hit and a walk. Hasn't struck out anybody. Colin Nimrod will lead things off here in the third. He'll be followed by Jake Hovden and Brett LaRue. A 1-0 lead for Oelwein. Nimrod popped out to second to start the game after being on base 4 times in game number 1. Colin smacks a single up the middle. That one sent back where it came from as Nimrod gets the second hit for Decorah. And that's the first time in game number 2 Decorah has gotten their leadoff runner on. Jake Hovden will be the batter. He reached on an error in the first, 0 for 1. Nimrod with the 3-stride lead at first base, held on there by Fink. Suko comes set. Runner stays put. Hovden bunts up the third base side. Got it between the pitcher and the third baseman, and Jake's going to beat that one out. Rex picked it up, but threw late to first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the third inning. And Brett LaRue will try to help his own cause here. He popped a short in the first, 0 for 1. Decorah trailing 1-0, but they've gotten multiple runners on in 2 of the 3 frames. The pause by Suko. LaRue swings and misses as he's over the top of a curveball from Suko. No balls and 1 strike. Decorah won game 1, 11-7. They trail it here in game 2, 1-0 in the third. Suko comes set, looks back at second. 0-1 delivery, swung on, popped up first base side. Angling over is Fink, and he will make the catch right in front of us. Tagging and going to third is Nimrod, and the throw there is wild from Suko. Heading to the plate is Nimrod. He will score. Hovden's going to third. He will stop there. That's just real good baseball by Colin Nimrod that time. As LaRue fouled out, Fink made a diving catch right in front of us here on the first base side. Nimrod tagged up, went to third. Suko ended up with the ball, but he airmailed the throw to third base that allowed Nimrod to score, Hovden to make it all the way to third. And Jake Marlowe will be the batter in now a 1-1 game. Suko delivers. Pitch swung on, a fly ball, right center field. Retreating is Latteberg. He will make the catch. Jake tags. He's coming to the plate. Relay, there won't be one. Sacrifice fly for Jake Marlowe, who now has 4 RBI on the night. And the Vikes take their first lead of game number 2. So Marlowe with the sacrifice fly to empty the bases. Nimrod and Hovden get on, and the rest of the lineup gets him in. And Caleb Qualley will be the batter. He popped to the pitcher in the second inning, 0 for 1. Pitch inside. It is 1 ball, no strikes. Scoreboard says 1-1, but I can guarantee you it's 2-1 Decorah. The 1-0 delivery misses low, 2 balls, no strikes. I know I've been wrong before, but I got my numbers guy to my left. The 2-0 right down Broadway for a strike, and it's 2-1. More importantly, I got Paula to my left, and she says it's 2-1. 2-1 the count, and the pitch ground ball towards short. Arndt moves to his left slightly. He'll pick it up and throw to first base to retire Qualley. And the side here in the third. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, nobody left. We head to the bottom half of the third inning. It is a 2-1 lead for Decorah. Bottom of the third inning, time to check the rest of the week broadcast-wise. Tomorrow night we'll have a baseball-softball doubleheader broadcast-wise. Decorah will take on East Waterloo. In game 1 of the doubleheader, we'll have that for you at 5:30, and then at about 7:30 it'll be Decorah softball against Waverly Shellrock. Both those games on AM 1240 KDC and at KDCRadio.com. And Friday night will be Decorah and walk-on in baseball as Brett LaRue pitches for the first time with a lead here in game 2. Fink hits a ground ball to third, and Tyler Dastel, he'll throw over to Jacob Marlowe. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the third. So Fink grounds out. And LaRue has gotten the last 4 batters out via ground balls and has retired 6 in a row since Rising got the RBI single back in the first inning. Decorah leads it 2-1. And Jared Latteberg will be the batter. He popped to short his first time up, and a curveball misses outside to the left-hand hitting Latteberg. 1 ball, no strikes. A 2-1 lead for Decorah. Vikes get 2 in the third inning, 1 on a throwing error, the other on a sacrifice fly from Marlowe. Pitch inside corner for a strike. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. Vikes looking for the sweep as they won game 1 of the doubleheader 11-7. 1-1 delivery, swung on and missed as Latteberg out ahead of the off-speed offering from LaRue. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes now. 1-2 with 1 down. The pitch swung on and missed on a dropping curveball, and that is the first strikeout for Brett LaRue. 2 down, nobody on for Brennan Ryan. Ryan singled and scored in the first inning. Ryan, the right-hand hitter against the right-hander LaRue. LaRue kicks and deals, and a curve catches the outside corner, called for strike 1. Oh, 1. That one just misses the inside edge, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike now. Rue gets the target from Qualley in the 1-1 delivery, and Ryan couldn't hold up on an attempted check swing. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mentioned it was a warm day. Official high in Oelwein today, 95 degrees. Pitch goes high. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that broke the previous record set in 1985 and 1933. Thank goodness for Mark Schnackenberg's Twitter account. The 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Curveball gets Ryan. Huskies down in order here in the 3rd. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 4th. It's 2-1 Vikings. Top of the 4th inning we go. It's a 2-1 lead for Decorah. Varney, Bohr, and Dostal 6, 7, and 8 for the Vikings. Vikings get 2 in the 3rd inning, and you really like the way they got that first run. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. LaRue fouls out to Fink, the first baseman, who made a diving catch right in front of the Decorah dugout on the first base side. Nimrod ends up tagging up from 2nd till 3rd. Fink shuffles the ball to Suko, who was coming over to try to catch the ball as well. Suko airmailed the throw to 3rd base, and that allowed Nimrod to score and moved Hubden to 3rd, and a batter later, Marlowe got the sacrifice fly. Varney swung and missed at the first one. No balls, 1 strike. Varney singled to left in the 2nd inning. 1 for 1. 0-1 delivery inside corner for a strike to the left-hand hitting Varney. It is nothing in 2. Oh, 2. Curveball grounded to the first base side. Woodward at 2nd. Double clutches after picking it up and throws on to first base to retire Varney. 1 down. You're in the 2nd inning.
Number 20, Austin Bohr.
1 down, nobody on. Austin Bohr, the battery pop to the pitcher, Suko, in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. Suko delivers, and Bohr grounds 1 foul, 3rd base side. No balls and 1 strike. Bohr equaled his season hit total coming into tonight in game number 1. Swung it pretty well. 0-1 delivery. Curveball swung on and missed. It's nothing in 2 now. The 2 runs that Suko gave up were unearned. Vikes scored 6 of their 11 runs unearned in the first game. The 0-1 delivery, fastball outside edge for a strike. And Bohr down on strikes. Suko gets his first strikeout. 5 in a row set down for Suko. That's his longest consecutive batter's retired string of the game. 2 down, nobody on for Tyler Dostal, who walked back in the 2nd inning. He'll take the first one low, 1 ball, no strikes. 2-1 Decorah as we play the top half of the 4th inning. Game 2 of this conference doubleheader. Decorah won game 1 in a wild one, 11-7. 1-0 delivery, a fastball up. It's 2 balls and no strikes to count. Two 2-0 on Dostal. Kicking and dealing is Suko on the pitch. Jack wanted to and probably should have, but called it a ball. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. To a right-hand hitter, we have a pretty good view, and that was over the knee. 3 balls, no strikes with 2 down. And the pitch, that one was probably further outside, and Jack calls it a strike. It's 3-1. But all things considered, it's where it should be right now. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch swung on a fly ball into shallow right field. That one is going to land for a base hit. Dostal on with a 2-out single here in the 4th inning. So Tyler's been on base twice, and Cam Korsnes will look to keep it going. Korsnes lined out to center to end the 2nd, 0 for 1. Dostal, the runner at first with 2 down. Decorah leading 2-1. And the first pitch is a curveball low. A nice stop behind the plate by the catcher Tanner Rising to avoid runner advancement. One 0. Didn't miss by much. Fastball outside corner, I guess. Or off the corner, I guess. Outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Suko comes set. And the 2-0 delivery is a fastball up again, so now it's 3 balls and no strikes on Korsnes. There's a strike. It's 3-1 as Cam was taken all the way. Korsnes trying to give the top of the order a chance here in the 4th inning. Swung on and missed. Fastball. Snap throw to first base. Dostal back to the bag diving. It's now 3 balls, 2 strikes on Korsnes. So Dostal will be moving with the pitch. A 2-1 Decorah lead here in the top half of inning number 4. Runner goes. Pitch swung on and missed. And that is the second strikeout of the game for Suko. 1 hit, 1 left, halfway home in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Decorah leading Oelwein 2-1. 2-1 lead for Decorah. 3, 4, and 5 due for the Huskies here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Tanner Rising, Tony Rex, and Austin Arndt. Rising has been the toughest out for Decorah pitching. He's 4 for 5 in the doubleheader. He'll look at a strike, 0-1. Rising, the last Husky to reach base on an RBI single to score Brennan Ryan in the bottom of the 1st inning. Vikes countered with 2 in the top of the 3rd. They lead it 2-1. Curveball outside corner for a strike. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Nothing and 2 the count. The pitch. Curveball doesn't curve, and Rising takes one on the backside, if you will. So Rising reaches on the HBP. Runner at first, nobody out, and Tony Rex will stand in. Rex popped a short in the 1st inning, 0 for 1. So LaRue back to the stretch for the first time since the 1st. And the swing and a foul from Rex. No balls and 1 strike to count. Oh, 1. Swung on and missed at a curveball to Rex, and it's 0-2. So LaRue well ahead of Rex here. Brett comes set, runner goes, pitch swung on a foul ball. 3rd base side. It is no balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 2, runner goes again. Pitch swung on and fouled back, so it's 0-2 the count yet on Tony Rex. Nobody out, 1 on, 4th inning, a 2-1 lead for Decorah. Vikes won game 1 by an 11-7 margin, smacking out 14 hits and scoring 8 of the 11 runs with 2 outs. Pitch swung on, hammered toward center field, but right at Jake Upton. He will make the catch. He'll throw to first base as the hit and run was on. Back to the big diving is Rising. 1 down, nobody on, and Austin Arndt will come to the plate. Arndt fouled to first in the 1st, 0 for 1. Couple of steps off the bag is Rising, and LaRue moves over there to send Rising back to the bag. Rising with 3 stolen bases on the season. Normally you won't see catchers running, but obviously Coach Gerhardt feels Rising is more of an asset on the base pass than anybody else he could put in there. Curveball missing outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-1 Decorah, bottom of the 4th. 1-0. Curve for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike to count. One. Curveball swung on and missed, and Qualley ate the ball as Rising got a good secondary lead as it got away from Qualley momentarily, and the wild pitch will allow Rising to take second. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 down. The 1-2 delivery outside, just missed the outside edge. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Tying run at second for the Huskies here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 2-2. Swung on and a ground ball foul. Coach Gerhardt making the play in the third base box. Two and 2 with 1 down. The pitch swung on and missed at a curve. So LaRue gets his 3rd strikeout. That's the 2nd out of the inning. And the batter will be John Leo. Leo grounded to short in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. Runner at second and 2 down as the first pitch goes high. 1 ball, no strikes. The pause, and the 1-0 is in the dirt. Got away from Qualley to his right. And moving up to third is Tanner Rising. 2 balls and no strikes to count. LaRue working out of the stretch with the runner at third and 2 down. The 2-0. Curveball outside for 3 balls and no strikes with Troy Rao on deck. (3-0). The old automatic. Catanese taken for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike with 2 down. The 3-1 delivery is low outside for ball 4.
Leo reaches on the walk. Up next for the Huskies.
Nothing hurt with first base open in that situation, and now that creates a force out at the second base bag. Now the Huskies will put a pinch runner in for Leo, and that will be, or actually it'll be the guy that he's hitting for, Jonah Woodward. The fielder running for the DH in that situation.
Hitter, number 1, Jonah Woodward. Now up for the Huskies, number 8, Troy Rao.
First and third, 2 down, 2-1 Decorah here in the 4th. Troy Rao grounded to short in the 2nd inning, and LaRue tries the fake to third, fake to first move to see if anything is up. Pitch swung on, a ground ball toward short. Nimrod will field on 3 hops. Throws on to first base. Low throw, but dug out well by Marlowe to retire the side. A hit batter, a walk, and 2 runners left. We are 4 innings complete. It is Decorah leading Oelwein 2-1. Top of the order due for Decorah here in the top of the 5th inning. A 2-1 lead for the Vikings. When the top of the order started things in the 3rd inning, the Vikings ended up getting a couple of runs. And that is the 2 runs that they have to this point, and the 2 runs that have and the lead is held up to this point, a 2-1 lead for Decorah. Nimrod popped a second in the first, singled and scored in the 3rd. 2-1 lead for Decorah as we start the 5th. Evan Suko delivers. Bunting up the third base side is Nimrod. Bare hand pickup made by Rex. Throws on to first base and gets Nimrod by a step. Good idea, but a good defensive play by Colin Nimrod. Or by Tony Rex to make the play on Colin Nimrod. 1 down, nobody on for Jake Hovden. Reached on an error in the first, singled and scored in the 3rd. 2-1 Decorah as we play the 5th. Both runs that Suko has given up have been unearned. Granted, it was his error that made it happen. The pitch goes low. 1 ball, no strikes on Hovden. Jake had 2 RBI in game number 1. Marlowe with 4 RBI on the night for Decorah as Hovden hits one foul, third base side. Nice stop made by Coach O in the third base box. Playing the short hop. One ball, 1 strike to count. Here's a 1-1, smacker up the middle and a base hit. So Hovden now 2 for 3, and he has 4 hits on the doubleheader. 1 on, 1 out. And the batter is Brett LaRue. He'll try to help his own cause. He's 0 for 2 with the stick here in game 2. Popped to short in the first and fouled to first in the 3rd. He swings at the first one, pops one up on the infield. The shortstop, Arndt, will call and catch. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. 2 down and a runner at first, and the batter is Jake Marlowe. Marlowe 0 for 1 with the sacrifice fly. His sacrifice fly back in the 3rd inning. The difference in the game to this point, it's a 2-1 lead for Decorah. And stepping off is Suko. Hovden a couple of steps off the bag at first base. He'll stay put this time as Marlowe swings and pops one up on the infield. Woodward at second will make the catch to retire the side. So 6 pitches gets rid of the Vikings in the 5th. 1 hit, 1 left. Stretch time, if you will, in Oelwein. It is Decorah leading 2-1. Evan Suko will try to help his own cause, starting things here in the 5th inning. He'll look at the first one high, 1 ball, no strikes. He grounded to second in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. LaRue has hit 1, he has walked 1, and has struck out 3, giving up 2 hits through 4 innings thus far. The pitch, hot shot towards third, knocked down there by Dostal. He'll field and throw over to first base to retire Suko. And 1 down here in the 5th inning. LaRue has been able to retire the leadoff batter in 4 of the 5 frames. One down, nobody on for Ethan Fink, who grounded to third in the 3rd, 0 for 1. And the first pitch, a curveball that misses inside, 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch, outside, 2 balls, no strikes, the count from LaRue. 2-0. Curveball for a strike. It's 2-1. The 2-1 delivery. Swung on and missed. Another curve that Fink misses. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 delivery. Fastball up from LaRue. It's now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2 with 1 down. LaRue ready, and the pitch swung on a fly ball into right center field. Angling over is Austin Bohr. He'll make a 2-handed head-high catch in medium depth right center. And there's 2 down here in the 6th inning. And now the top of the order, and Jared Latteberg will bat. And a 2-1 Decorah lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Latteberg has popped to short in the first, struck out swinging in the 3rd. The pitch. Curve for a strike, 0-1. LaRue has had 2 1-2-3 innings. He's looking for a 3rd right here. 0-1 delivery, fastball up. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. LaRue ready, 1-1. Sails outside on the off-speed offering. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1. Pitch. Swing and a foul back to the screen, so now the deuce is wild. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. Sails outside for 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three, 2. Swing and a pop-up foul down the third base side, and out of play. So we'll stay put at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three, 2. Ground ball right side. Funny hop knocked down there by Korsnes. He stays with it and throws to first base to retire Latteberg. And the side here in the 5th inning. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the top half of the 6th inning. Decorah will look for some insurance, up 2-1. Top of the 6th inning. Decorah leads it 2-1. It's been a tale of 2 games tonight. It was a wild one in game number 1, in which Decorah won 11-7. There was a total of 25 hits and 18 runs in that ball game. In this game, there's been a total of 7 hits. Qualley, Varney, and Bohr will be the due hitters here in the 6th. Evan Suko is throwing a nice ball game. 5 hits, 2 unearned runs given up. 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Granted, the 2 unearned runs were because of an error he made. 2 errors for Oelwein, 1 error for Decorah in this game. As the first pitch goes inside, 1 ball, no strikes. And Suko pretty good on the pitch count column. This will be his 60th of the game. Outside corner for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike count. 1-1. Kicking and dealing is Suko on the pitch. Swung on and missed as Qualley chases a high fastball. It's 1-2 now. This is Vikings Radio, 1240 KDEC Decorah and KDECradio.com. Darren Swenson from Oelwein tonight. The 1-2 delivery, a curveball grounded toward short. Backhand stop made by Arndt. He'll throw across the diamond to retire Qualley. 1 down here in the 6th inning. One down, nobody on for Gabe Varney. A single to left in the second, a ground out to second in the fourth. A 2-1 lead for Decorah. They got their runs in the third inning. Back-to-back singles for Nimrod and Hovden. And then on a crazy play, LaRue fouled out, but some heads-up baseball from Colin Nimrod created the craziness as Varney rolls one to center field on a base hit. He lofted one over the head of Suko, and that one got out into center field, and Gabe now 2 for 3 on the night. 1 on, 1 out for Austin Bohr, who popped to the pitcher in the second and struck out looking in the fourth. Going back to that play in the second, LaRue fouled out. Fink, the first baseman, made a diving catch in front of the Decorah dugout on the first base side. Nimrod tagged up and went to third as Bohr swings and misses at a curve, 0-1. Fink shuffled the ball to Suko, who was over covering the area trying to catch the pop-up as well. Suko threw to third, but airmailed it into left field. That allowed Nimrod to score and Hovden to reach third. The next batter, Jake Marlowe, had a sacrifice fly. 0-1 delivery. Curveball missing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that lead has held up to this point. One and 1 the count with 1 down. Runner stays put and Bohr looks at one outside. 2 balls, 1 strike now. I know game 2 has been a second game, but with the a different game than the first one. But with the craziness in game number 1, you'd sure like to get some insurance here as the pitch goes outside corner for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Austin Bohr. Austin had a good game in game number 1, 0 for 2 here in game number 2. Varney stays put at first, and the pitch goes behind Bohr and all the way back to the screen. Varney will stay put at second after advancing on the wild pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Bohr. And now Bohr is in a situation where he's batting with a runner in scoring position in less than 2 out. 3-2 delivery. Bohr swings and fouls one back to the screen. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count. The pause by Suko. 2 looks back at second. The 3-2 delivery is low for ball 4. It got by the catcher rising, so up to third base will go Varney. Bohr draws the base on balls. First and third, 1 down for Tyler Dostal.
Number 9, Tyler Dostal.
First and third, 1 down. Tyler Dostal has been on base twice, walked in the second, and singled to right in the fourth. And here's a squeeze play up the first base side. Dostal will get Varney home as Suko throws to first base to retire Dostal. The first squeeze play of the season, and it's executed to perfection, and it's a 3-1 lead for Decorah. Tyler Dostal gets Varney home on the squeeze play and moves Bohr up to second base. Dostal gets his 4th RBI of the season. And the Vikes now have a 2-run advantage as Cam Korsnes will be the batter. He lined out to center in the second, struck out swinging in the fourth, and he'll look at the first one low. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch, fastball outside corner for a strike. 1-1 the count. 3-1 Decorah here in the 6th inning. The 1-1 delivery, smack down the left field line, but foul. Cam just a touch in front of it. And it's 1-2 now on Cam Korsnes. For the runner at second. The Vikes have not gotten a two-out run in this game. They scored 8 of their 11 in game 1 with 2 outs. The 1-2 delivery. Curveball swung on, fly ball left field. Retreating is Brennan Ryan. He's under it. He makes the catch to retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We are 5.5 innings complete. Decorah leads it 3-1. Decorah adding 1 to their total in the 6th inning on a suicide squeeze bunt. Off the bat of Tyler Dostal to get Gabe Varney home. It's a 3-1 lead for Decorah. Brett LaRue has not given up a hit since the 1st inning. He has walked 1, he has hit 1, and he has struck out 3. He's thrown 74 pitches through 5. And Brennan Ryan, who has 1 of the 2 base hits in the game for Oelwein, will stand in. He singled and scored in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 3rd. Roller third base side. LaRue will field, throw to first base, but late. Swinging bunt for Ryan, and he reaches on the single to start things here in the 6th inning. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate in the person of Tanner Rising. Rising with 4 hits in the doubleheader. He had an RBI single in the 1st inning and was hit by a pitch in the 4th. So he's been on base 5 of the 6 times he has been up tonight. Pitch, ground ball, foul. Third base side. No balls and 1 strike.
Ball in your glove, get it out. Go. Come on now.
Move to first base and back to the bag diving is Ryan. Ryan 5 for 6 in the steal column coming into tonight. Ryan's been on base 2 of the 3 times here in game 2 as the pitch goes high. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count. The pitch looped towards left field. Diving attempt by Nimrod, but it's unsuccessful. Heck of an effort by Colin. But it reaches left field on a base hit, so 1st and 2nd with nobody out here in the 6th inning. And Tony Rex will be the batter. First and 2nd, nobody out. Rex in from the right-hand side of the plate. He popped to short in the 1st, flew out to center in the 4th. The pitch outside from LaRue. 1 ball, no strikes. Ryan and Rising with 2 hits apiece. That's the only hits that Oelwein has had tonight. Decorah leads at 3-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Next pitch high. 2-0 the count. LaRue with the 2-0 hammer toward short. Caught by Nimrod, and he will tag the runner out for the double play. Wow, what a play by Colin Nimrod, who catches the hot shot off the bat of Rex. And Ryan was off the bag. Nimrod dove, tagged him for the out. 2 down and a runner at first here in the 6th inning. Boy, a heads-up play on the offensive end and a great play on the defensive end. Hang a star on that one, 10, as a curveball for a strike to Arndt. No balls and 1 strike. Arndt fouled to first in the 1st and struck out swinging in the 4th. 0-1, swung on, fly ball, right field. He keeps carrying on Bohr, but now he's under it and makes a head-high catch to retire the side. The first 2 get on, but no damage done for the Huskies. 2 hits, 1 left. We head to the 7th. It's a 3-1 lead for Decorah. 3-1 lead for Decorah as we go to the 7th inning. Top of the order, Nimrod, Hovden, and LaRue. Recapping this game, Oelwein led 1-0 after the first inning. An RBI single by Tanner Rising, but the Vikes got 2 in the third inning. Nimrod and Hovden reached. LaRue fouled out.
I don't want to see the last 2 bats coming up this time. You've given up before you walked in. I mean it, John. Pretty good at reading body language. You're good.
Leading off the Decorah, number 10, Colin Nimrod.
LaRue fouled out. Nimrod ended up tagging, going from second to third. Huskies tried to get Nimrod at third base. Throw went into left field. That allowed Nimrod to score and set up Hovden at third. And then the next batter, Jake Marlowe, had a sacrifice fly to center to make it 2-1. Colin Nimrod swings at the first one and pops one on the infield. Woodward is under it. He will make the catch for the first out here in the 7th inning. So Nimrod now 1 for 4 in this game, and Hovden will be the batter. Reached on an error in the first, singled and scored in the third, and singled again in the 5th. The Vikes added an insurance run in the 6th inning. A sacrifice bunt on a suicide squeeze by Tyler Dostal scored Gabe Varney, and that made it 3-1. Hovden hammers one towards left field. Ryan retreating and making the catch in deep left field. His back was to the infield, and he caught it one-handed above his head for the second out here in the 7th inning. That one, baby, was just hammered. And 2 pitches retire the first 2 batters in the 7th for Decorah, and Brett LaRue is 0 for 3. The pitch swung on and a ground ball toward short, fielded there by Arndt. He'll throw on to first base to retire LaRue, and that's that for the 7th inning. Vikes go 3 up, 3 down on 3 pitches. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Vikes will try to close out next. They lead it 3-1. John Leo looks at the first one low from LaRue. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 ground ball to the right side to his left is Korsnes. He knocks it down, but that's all he'll be able to do with it. An E4 will allow Leo to reach and bring the tying run to the plate here in the 7th inning. Runner at first, nobody out. Troy Rao will be the batter. He's grounded to short twice. And Leo will have Woodward run for him. Basically, the fielder is going to run for the designated hitter there. So a runner at first and nobody out. A 3-1 lead for Decorah here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rao grounded to short in the 2nd, grounded to short in the 4th. And now, Colin Nimrod comes up and asks about a switch. I think what perhaps they were wondering there is Leo had left the game and now Woodward re-entered, but Woodward basically is running for Leo. I believe if this game goes to extras, I probably shouldn't say anything because I'm ignorant on the rule. As the pitch goes inside from LaRue, 1 ball, no strikes. Move to first base, back to the bag, diving is Woodward. Woodward, 5 steps off the bag at first. Another curve missing inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes to count. Two-0. Strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. 3-1 Decorah, bottom of the 7th. 2-1, curve at the knees for a strike, and it's 2-2. LaRue at 88 pitches right now. Woodward away from first. LaRue comes set. 2-2 delivery, swung on fly, ball center field. Good jump by Jake Upton. He dives. He cannot get there. Woodward will move up to second on the play. First and second with nobody out for the Huskies here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And I think Andy Sinkink is going to come into this game. Leo to second, Rao to first. Sinkink will come in, trying to shut the door. LaRue will move from pitcher to third. Dostal will leave the game, and Andy Sinkink will bat in the spot previously occupied by Dostal. So Sinkink will come on here in a save situation. Andy, his first appearance out of the bullpen this year, he's 1-1, a 1.62 ERA, 13 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 157 against him. He got a win on Saturday in the victory over Osage. And even though he pitched pretty well, he was the losing pitcher against Southwind last Wednesday. 3-1 the score. Runners at first and second. With nobody out here in the 7th inning, Evan Suko will try to help his own cause. He's 0 for 2 with the stick. Grounded to second in the 2nd and grounded to third in the 5th. First and second, nobody out. Tying run at first base for Oelwein. Woodward, the runner at second. Rao, the runner at first. The pitch outside, and it gets by Qualley. So now the tying run up into scoring position as Woodward moves up to third and Rao to second. It's a 3-1 lead for Decorah, and it's becoming a bit of an ominous lead right now. Corners up, middle infield back for Decorah. And Suko calls time, and it's granted by home plate umpire Jack Lynch. The pause, the 1-0. Outside corner for a strike, it's 1-1. Inning started with an error, then a single to center by Rao. A wild pitch has advanced both runners. 1-1 delivery from Sinkink, swinging a foul straight back and out of play. Now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Suko. Sinkink out of the stretch. The pause, the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes as that one barely missed. Two and 2 the count. Sinkink with another 2-2 curveball low. It's off the mask of Qualley. Down the line from third comes the runner. He will score. And it's now a 3-2 ball game. That one got away from Caleb to his right. It's 3-2, and now the tying run is at third base for Oelwein. 3-2 on Evan Suko. Infield up at all 4 spots for the Vikings. And the pitch, high for ball 4.
Sucro reaches on the walk.
And now Ethan Fink will be the batter.
Up next for the Huskies, number 5.
Fink grounded to third in the third and flew out to right in the 5th. And Succo will get a courtesy runner here since he still is the pitcher.
Pitcher number 19, Nick Stacy.
And that will be Nick Stacy at first base. Infield still up at all 4 spots as Fink will be the batter. He's 0 for 2. Sinking trying to close it out. The pause. The 0-1 swinging a foul right side, not a play. It is no balls and 1 strike. An error and 2 walks have contributed to the Vikings putting themselves in this position here in the bottom of the 7th. 0-1 delivery, swung on, hit towards third, past LaRue and into left field for a base hit. The Huskies have tied the game and now have the winning run at second base. Ethan Fink with an RBI single, and Jared Latteberg will be the batter. We're tied at 3 as Rao scores on the Fink single. Fink with his 3rd RBI of the season, and Latteberg will be the batter. Latteberg 0 for 3, popped to short in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 3rd, and grounded to 2nd in the 5th. Latteberg squares to bunt, and the pitch taken inside, 1 ball, no strikes. One and 0 the count. Sinking comes set. And the 1-0 offering, Latteberg squares to bunt and throws high. Does Sinking, and it's 2 balls and no strikes now. Winning run at second for the Huskies. It's unfortunate, but Brett LaRue pitched pretty well tonight, but won't get the victory. Latteberg squares to bunt, bunts it straight up in the air and fouls third base side. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 the count now. 3-3 game, bottom of the 7th. Latteberg squares to bunt, does so up the first base side. Sinking will field, throw to first base. Korsness covers, sacrifice good. 1-4, and now the winning run at third for the Huskies.
Up next for the Huskies, number 10, the left fielder, Brendan Ryan.
Stacy, the winning run at third. Fink at second. He really doesn't matter right now. The batter is Brennan Ryan. He has 2 of the Huskies' 6 hits tonight, and he scored the initial run of the game. Sinking comes set. First offering, swinging a pop-up foul. Right side out of play. 0-1 on Brennan Ryan. Stacy off of third. Fink off of second. 0-1 delivery. Hit him. The good old curve that doesn't curve, and now Ryan at first base.
Up next for the Huskies, number 3, the catcher, Taylor Rising.
Rising with 5 hits on the night. He's been on base all 3 times here in game number 2. 3-3 game here in the 7th. Outfield up, infield up for Decorah. Sinking delivers ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. The Huskies scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th to defeat Decorah by a 4-3 margin.
Split the doubleheader with Decorah.
4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors,
Good for great sportsmanship.
and 7 left for Oelwein. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, and 6 left for Decorah. The winning pitcher is Evan Suko for Oelwein. Suko improves to 3-0 on the season. The losing pitcher will be Andy Sinkink for Decorah, and he drops to 1-2. So the Vikings are now 6-6, 3-3 in conference play. The Huskies are now 5-6 and 2-2 in conference play. Many people to thank for making the broadcast possible. First and foremost, our advertisers, the good sports-minded people who helped us bring the game wherever you were tonight. Without their help, this coverage would not be possible. So as always, we encourage you to support the businesses who support local high school sports. And lastly, and most importantly, we thank you, that's right, you the listener, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. If not the outcome of Game 2, the Vikings end up with a split tonight, winning the first game 11-7 and losing the second game 4-3. Thanks. We'll be with you again tomorrow night for a baseball-softball doubleheader broadcast. Decorah East Waterloo, Game 1 of the baseball doubleheader beginning at 5:30, and then we'll have Decorah and Waverly Shellrock in softball beginning at 7:30. So, again, the final score from Oelwein. Decorah wins Game 1 11-7, loses Game 2 4-3. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night.